Alright guys, welcome to another beer review and a little bit of a special one this, and one that I've been not putting off recording. I've just thought I didn't want to just open this beer and drink it, do you know what I mean? But at the same time I don't think it's sort of like, oh, I'm going to save this for such and such milestone. But it still hopefully should be a special beer. So we're going over to the Brewery, and this is the Oatmeal Cookie, part of their bakery series. So this is an imperial stout brewed with oats and aged in bourbon barrels with raisins, cinnamon, granola and natural flavours added. 10.2% ABV. There we go, lovely stuff. An iconic beer in of itself, and part of an iconic range from an extremely iconic brewery. Bruery. Big shout out to you know who you are. So yeah, this was actually part of a box that Cloudwater released because they were doing a sort of meet the brewer with the guy from the brewery, and they include some of the beers. I've actually got a Goes beer in the fridge, but I can't remember what that was. I was initially going to have that, but I thought Sunday night, let's have an impy. And it's got a very sticky bottom because I've had a spate of potentially exploding cans recently due to the warmer weather that we've been having. And I don't know what's going on with this part of my hair, by the way. Mind you, it doesn't look too bad. I look very gentlemanly. Anyway, so yeah, it's got a very sticky bottom to it. I need to clean my shelf because all the cans. There was one can that I tried to pick up and actually picked up the whole shelf. But yeah, it was one of the carnival beers. I just had a look one day and like the actual, you know, this part here, it had like a protruded like a prolapsed rectum, but it's just as if I'd gone round with a can opener and it was just open like that. So I think it must have just gone. But I had a weird beard beer. Sort of not like it exploded or anything, but it just seemed to have seeped outside. So anyway, and when I saw it was a stout that had happened, I thought, shit, not this one. Anyway, bit of a long-winded introduction there, but oh well. So very excited to try this, and the other beers that were included in the box that I've had have been really nice, especially their take on a Hellas. Really damn good. Speaking of which, I'm recording this as it's actually Oktoberfest season, so I'm gonna have to do a bit of an Oktoberfest haul. But by the time you see this, Oktoberfest probably been and gone. Although, are they actually able to celebrate it, or are they having to do it like have they postponed it? Because they're still promoting it, but I'm not sure if they're able to actually go out and about. Bear with me one sec, because of course I've been cooking. There we go. So, beer in the glass then, and it's exactly what you'd expect a beer that's described like that to look like. Excuse me. Jet black with just shy of a finger's worth of a mocha head, looking very nice in the glass. I love stouts in snifter glasses like this. So, useless pub quiz question there for you. So let's see what we get on the nose. Oh wow. Oh, that smells hearty. The bourbon barrel's there, but it's by no means like a big in-your-face character. Sometimes I do find bourbon barrel-aged beers can be a little bit too harsh on that sort of whiskey cask bourbon sort of character, to the point where it almost tastes like you're just drinking whiskey, which isn't a bad thing. I'm partial every now and then to a nice whiskey. But it sort of can get a bit too much, because sometimes I get like a reaction, I get tingles down the back when I have whiskey. I don't know why. It's sort of like when I have Hellman's mustard. It's not like spicy, obviously, but the vinegariness of it, like it can sometimes make me sneeze. And I love, a ham sandwich. Everyone loves a ham sandwich. I love a ham sandwich with like ham off the bone, with like Coleman's mustard. Ah, but sometimes it can be a bit too much for me. Anyway, keep going on different tangents, but yeah, the whiskey cask is there, or barrel. There's a little bit of vanilla, but it's a bakery inspired stout, so you're obviously going to get a vanilla character. I am getting a raisin, almost like a rum raisin aroma. It's got a nice cakey sweetness, and it does actually remind me of like an oatmeal cookie. It smells nice. There's really no potency on this beer at all. It's really nice, rounded, just a very pleasant smelling beer. And yeah, so happy Stout Sunday, everyone. Cheers. That is gorgeous. Silky smooth, lovely body to it, gentle carbonation, just a real velvetiness. It's got like the texture, I'd imagine, of like a dark chocolate milk. Just the right amount of cinnamon character coming through as well. Oh man, that's good. I'm actually, a weird thought just come to my mind. I wish I'd have actually had some biscuits, so I could, not to do a pairing, but because I'm thinking of the thumbnail of this video now. How nice would that be, like biscuits surrounding it? But oh well. Back to the beer. Tasting really damn good. So easy drinking for what it is. Did you see how I stealthily hid the identity then? Because I'm shooting this on my iPhone 11, and I'm sure you can get a camera app where you can pause while you're recording. But my Huawei, I don't know how it's pronounced. Which, by the way, don't waste your time with those phones. The most frustrating, cheap looking operating system. You'd only get them for the camera. I'm never going back to that phone company. And it's not because, they're going to spy on us, and, it's a security threat, and all. I don't care. Listen, if people are watching us, all I'm going to say is, I've not been arrested yet. And I'll leave it at that. I don't care about my data protection. I don't care about the GDPR policy. I don't care how people use my information. We're being watched anyway, illegally. So I'm really not bothered, but yeah. So yeah, really stealthily done. I mean, you got a little bit of a head there, but oh well, I'm not going to let it stop me recording, because I can't, and I didn't want to restart this video. But yeah, it's got that sort of like oatmeal cookie character to it. So I think in terms of the concept, they nailed it. Whether that's what they had in mind when they're brewing it, or that's what they came up with when it was brewed, it doesn't really matter. The concept works. It's got just the right amount of sweetness. It's not overly sweet, like sugary sweet. Do you know what I mean? It's got that sort of like Demerara sugar. That sort of like Lion's castor syrup. What's it called? That comes in the big tin. It's got a little bit like treacle. It's got the sweetness of oatmeal. And it's tasting like an alcoholic oatmeal cookie. And that whiskey, the bourbon barrel, it's really just, it's mature. It's not like a really domineering flavour, which I really like. Because I think that might have worked against the beer, to be honest. But yeah. I've not had a really good impy stout for ages. For absolutely ages. And I'm so glad I finally got this opened. It's just gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. I've got very limited experience with the brewery in general. But what I have had has just been out of this world. And I think Cloudwater, with the sort of thing they've done, I think they will be getting more brewery beers sent over, you know, to sell on. So it's always worth looking on the Cloudwater Webshop. But yeah, I mean, of course, Brewery, some really big sort of like sour beers and wild fermentation stuff as well in the big bottles. But see, with a brewery like this, I want to go for the impies. You know, classic bottle share sort of material, do you know what I mean? But condensed into a easily, you know, drinkable can. So sink your teeth into this boldly decadent, freshly baked imperial stout. This barrel-aged treat was brewed with old-fashioned oats and packed full of cinnamon, raisins and granola for the perfect balance of sweetness and spice. I really wouldn't say there's too much spice in this, actually. Not the first word that I would go to, do you know what I mean? But oh well. Reminiscent of oatmeal cookies hot off the pan. Ooh, how good would that be right now? Lovely stuff. Guys, this is gorgeous. I can't pick out anything at all that I would take away from this beer. I mean, I've had it for a few months now, so I'm not sure if flavours might have subsided or dropped off, but if they have, I'm really not going to complain. It's just so good. Really good, guys. If you could get yourself a can of this, highly, highly recommended. I'll have a look on the Cloudwater shop, see if there's still stock in this. Because I know at the time we're recording this, they've still got quite a bit of like the little sort of sour beers that they did, the pink cans. They've still got some of the Hellers left, which is highly recommended. But yeah, this is an absolute triumph. So in terms of a rating then, I'll 10 out of 10. It's just gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's a soft, sweet, decadent treat. And the beer's not too bad as well. Too bad as well? Oh, I ruined that joke with my terrible grasp of the English language. But anyway, if you've tried this, then let me know your thoughts, opinions down below. Highly, highly recommended. Go check out the brewery. And more importantly, I hope you'll join me next time for another beer review.